Welcome, everybody, to the Lake and Camp Life at its Best podcast. My name is Caleb Andrist. I have a really cool guest with me today, and her name is Mackenzie, and her last name is Andrist, which means that she is my daughter. She just turned 10, three days ago? 3 days ago, you turned 10. So she is a junior camper. She went to junior camp last year for the first time, and she's going back again this year. And so I wanted to just take a minute and talk with her about junior camp and all the things that she enjoyed. I had her make a list for me. And so we're going to talk through some of those things and tell you really some cool, exciting things happening this summer. If you were coming to junior camp. So I know as a parent, it can be somewhat scary to send your child off to a place for a week, especially with people that you may not know, counselors, staff, things like that. But I want to assure you that we take a great amount of pride in training our counselors and making sure that our staff knows exactly how to handle the junior age camper. So let me talk a little bit first about what's coming in junior camp, and then we're going to talk to Mackenzie and see what her favorite parts of camp were, okay? So this summer, we have two and hopefully possibly even three brand new junior camp cabins that are going to be specifically for junior campers. They are brand new. They have bathrooms and shower facilities right inside of the cabin itself, and so it'll be a lot easier for campers to not have to go outside of their cabin at night if they have to use the restroom, whatever the case may be. So three of those coming. We have a brand new jumping pillow, which if you don't know what a jumping pillow is, it's really fun. Yeah, jumping pillow is it's kind of like an above ground or an on ground blob. So it is a big pillow that juniors can go on and jump on. How would you explain a jumping pillow? What's a jumping pillow? How do you explain it?
It's kind of like a trampoline, kind of.
Okay.
But it's just this, it's more colorful and it's not as bouncy, but you can do a lot more, things on it, without getting hurt.
Like cartwheels
Yeah.
and things like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
That
So
you normally can't do on a trampoline because it's too bouncy.
Okay, so we have a jumping pillow coming in. It's 60 feet long by 30, I think it's 33 feet wide, so a huge jumping pillow. We have swing sets coming in for the campers. There's going to be a section now that is going to be completely landscaped to have like an outdoor chapel type setting, and so we just have all sorts of really cool things coming for junior camp. But without further ado, let's talk a little bit about junior camp and how your experience with junior camp was. So let's start I'm going to start at the very beginning of your list. Are you good with that? Mm-hmm. Okay. So first of all, do you remember the name of your counselor that you had last summer?
Yes.
Who was it?
Shayna.
Okay. So Shayna is actually going to be our junior camp program director this summer.
Nice.
She's so nice. Yeah. So she's going to be our junior camp program director, and she is just the sweetest thing, and she will be an absolute asset to the camp in that role. And so we're super excited about that. Okay, so Shayna was your counselor, and you gave me a list of 11 things that were really exciting to you that you enjoyed at junior camp. So before we even get into that, let me ask you this. Last year was your first year at camp.
Yes.
Was it scary coming out of the car and meeting your counselor, meeting your cabin? Were you a little nervous?
Yeah, I was, but then like a couple minutes after I got there, I already made new friends, and it was just really fun because I got to meet a lot of new people, and it wasn't scary anymore.
Yeah. So let's talk through, if somebody has never come to camp before, they come into that big parking lot at the front. What happens? Do you remember what happened after we brought our luggage up to the front? What happened?
You went to go and see your counselor, and you got to ride on this little train thing to go to your cabin.
Yeah. And so your counselor goes with you to the cabin. Mm-hmm. They introduce you to anybody else that may be there first, unless you're the first one there. But they'll show you the cabin. They'll show you where you stay and the different bunks and all that kind of thing. So they'll go through all of that with you. And so it really wasn't that scary, was it?
No.
And so by the time we had got everything done on our end of things, parent-wise, like, paperwork and stuff like that, you guys were already going around doing different stuff and going to
Yeah.
the Red Canoe and hanging out there and buying drinks and having just a good time. So
Yeah.
I remember when we first got there, I was like, oh, there's Mackenzie. I'm going to say bye. So I waved my hand and she was like, Dad, leave me alone. Like, I'm good with my friends. Like, we're good. There's no problems here, right? Yeah. All right. So after you get all dropped off, things like that, you kind of had a chance just recently to reflect on that whole summer experience. You're going back to junior camp this year.
Yes.
You have a cousin coming with you, so that'll be exciting. A couple friends from last year in your cabin are coming the same week, so that's pretty exciting as well. So the first thing you put on there that you really enjoyed about junior camp was praying with your counselors. So what did that mean? What does that mean? How did that work, and what did you do with that?
Like, so if you were going, and like if you were sad or like you were nervous about something, you could just go and tell your counselor, and they would ask you, do you want to pray about it?
Mm-hmm.
And you can either say yes or no. And if you say no, then you guys will probably just go like read a couple Bible verses and like stuff like that. But if you say yes, then you get to go and just in a private spot, and you get to talk to your counselor about it and just like pray about it. And it was really nice doing that.
So was it pretty easy to go to the counselors and talk to them if you had any problems or
Yeah.
issues or anything like that?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. All right, number 2, getting to know people. What do you mean by that?
So like I feel like it's just really fun to just go and talk to people that you've never talked to before, and you never know, they might not like you, but if they do, it's really nice to just get to know them, because you guys can become really good friends, and you can just like you can stay in contact and stuff like that.
And you have
really
friends coming with you
From
this
last year.
summer
Yeah.
from last year, so it makes it easier, right? That's cool.
Yeah.
That's fun. All right. So you mentioned one-on-one time with your counselor. What's one-on-one time? What does that mean?
So there's this time during the day where every single week there's one or two or maybe even 3 people throughout the day that go and have one-on-one time with their counselor. So one person goes with their counselor, and they go with their counselor, and then you get to know your counselor more, and you just get to and like she asks you questions about like what happened and like why you came to LAC camp, or like for instance, Shayna, she asked me what my favorite Bible verse was.
Oh, okay.
And and I said it was John 3:16 and 17. And she looked it up, and we read it together, and we just had a fun time, and
That's
we
great.
laughed together.
That's
It was
cool.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one-on-one time with a counselor, every camper gets to do that, right?
Yes.
That's awesome. That's great. One thing that you didn't put in here was Acorn Acres. What was what is Acorn Acres? Tell me about Acorn Acres. What is that?
Acorn Acres is a place where there's just a bunch of different animals like ducks, pigs, chickens,
Yep.
peacocks,
Yep.
and
They have goats.
rabbits.
Rabbits.
Yeah.
Did they have sheep? I know they had goats.
I'm pretty sure they had a horse too.
They had horses, yep.
Yeah, they had horses, yeah.
Yep. Lots of kitty cats,
Yes.
kittens, yeah.
They were so cute.
Yeah. So, do you remember what the challenge was for Acorn Acres? What were we hoping you would do? Do you remember?
No.
Touch
I
one new thing, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
touch one more one new thing that
Yeah.
you've never touched
Something that
before.
you've never touched before. Just touch it, and that way you can say, I touched a peacock for the first time ever.
I touched a duck.
You
It was
touched a
scary.
duck.
It was scary.
But did it bite
And
you?
I touched a pig.
You touched a pig and a
touched a
duck.
pig,
All right, very
yeah.
good. All right, good. All right. Another thing you put on your list here is meeting lifelong friends. What does that mean?
Like, when you go to LAC camp, you can just like meet new friends that like you'll never forget them, because it was like it's just like it's really hard to forget someone that you've met for the first time and
Right.
like you went to camp with them. So and like you remember their names and everything because you have a picture of them first of all.
Yeah, that's right. You get a
Yeah,
picture
you
at
get
the
a
end of the week,
picture.
right?
Yeah.
Your counselor gives you a picture. You take a cabin picture at the beginning of the week. And at the end of the week, you get that picture you can take home with you and you can write on it and make sure you keep track of all your friends.
Yeah,
Okay.
and you can just look at the picture and say and show your family like a long time from them then and just say I remember this and this cabin and this was just like a life-changing cabin
Yeah.
because the people were just great people.
Yeah.
It's just
I
like
remember
fun.
even when I got pictures as a camper, I used to look at the picture and then from like left to right, I would write down their names. That way I would never
That's
forget.
what I did.
That's what
That's
you
what
do
I
too.
did.
And there you
Yeah.
go. See, smart. We think alike. That's good. All right. All right. So you put in there playing games with friends and laughing. I'm guessing you probably didn't do any laughing that week at all, right? No
No,
laughter at
we
all.
did so much laughing.
So much
We
laughing.
did
Okay.
so much laughing.
All right. So what was do you remember like your favorite game?
Um, it wasn't really a game. It was the Lavin Rack.
Oh yeah.
You know.
So what is Lavin Rack? Explain what Lavin Rack is.
Well, first of all, it's carnival spelled backwards.
Carnival spelled backwards. Okay.
And the older groups like of campers, like from junior high or jumpstart or something like that, and up, they get into groups, and their group gets to think of a fun carnival game that they want to do with the juniors.
Okay.
So, my sister, she did this game where there was water guns and there was cups and you had to knock down the ping pong balls
Okay.
that were on the cup
Yep.
with the water gun. And if you knocked all 3 of them down, if you all knocked all 4 of them down, you got to squirt the people that
people that-
volunteered. And it was really fun. And you pay tokens to do it. Like,
Okay.
but if you knock like a certain amount, I think it was like 2 or 3 down, or even 4, you get the token back.
Oh, so how did you get the tokens in the first place?
The program directors give them
They
to
just
you.
give them to you.
Yeah, they give them to you. They give you like 3 or 4,
Okay.
and like once they're gone.
Right.
But you can get more.
You can like earn them back as you play games
Yes.
and stuff. Okay, good. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Yeah, so Liana is another one that I'll be interviewing later. She was in junior high last year. And so junior high is the one that puts on Lavin Rack for the junior campers. And it's just a way to show that it's maybe not all about them. If you remember junior high, you remember, kind of being in that mode of only thinking about yourself and things like that. And so Lavin Rack is just an opportunity for the junior hires to serve the junior campers. And as you can see, it's a pretty fun little thing. So all right, so that was probably your favorite game, you said?
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember any other games that you played?
We got to do this fun game where it's kind of like this thing where there's a bunch of balls in the middle of like a field.
Okay.
And all the counselors would go and they would have pool noodles and they would have to try to tag the campers and before they got a ball and brought it back to their little station that
Okay.
they had. And
Yeah.
it was like super fun. And it was just like a fun nighttime game. We did it at night. And it was just super fun to do before dinner, and we just had a bunch of fun. And it was a competitive game, but no one really got mad. They were just having fun, so they didn't really care.
That's great. I love it.
Yeah, it was really fun.
All right. Okay. So you put in there being in a Christian community. That's a pretty big statement. What do you mean by being in a Christian community?
It's just really good to be around good Christian people. And I love how we have chapel 2 or 3 times a day because you can just get to know God more in those chapel areas. And like you can see from other people's perspectives of what they think and what they have learned about God. And you can just share what you've learned and what they've learned, and just learn how other people think of things differently.
Yeah.
And it's fun to just talk over that.
So let's talk about chapel for a second. What do you do in chapel? Do you sing songs?
Yeah, we do. We sing songs and we do some dancing, and it's just like super
Like motions
fun.
to the songs
Yeah,
kind of thing? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and we just have a bunch of fun doing that.
Okay. Very cool. So let's see. I'm going to keep going down your list here. Getting a good relationship with God. Can you explain that for me? What does that mean?
That means like it's like when you go and you can go and you can just sit there and learn because everybody wants to learn.
Okay.
So like you can sit there and you can learn and you just can learn more about God and like no matter what other people think, like it's just fun to get like a good like solid relationship with God, and maybe you can go back home and say, I want to get baptized,
Sure.
or I want to get saved, or something like that. And it's just fun to see people come back the next year and say, after I went to camp, I got baptized and saved.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, good. All right, so you put in here something about the Glory Bowl. So for people that have never come to camp before,
I love the Glory Bowl.
you love the Glory Bowl. What's the Glory Bowl? Explain what that is.
You can't. So I think it's for every group of campers. But for juniors, there's this big fire that they do, and this is really fun. I think this is the last day of the camp before the morning of the last day.
Yep, be Friday night.
Yeah, Friday night before you leave Saturday morning. You get to. So what you get to do is you just go and first of all you pray and you get to make prayer requests.
Okay.
And you can come up and say the prayer requests and stuff. But what's really fun about it is all the counselors go up and you get to ask the counselor any question you want.
Oh, okay.
Like any question. And one of the campers said, are you single or are you not single?
And the answer was?
And they had to say if they were single or if they had a boyfriend or girlfriend or something like that.
All right.
It was really fun. And then you got to just know your counselors more by asking those questions.
Sure. Yeah.
Stuff.
Okay. Yeah. And that happens Friday night. So
Yes.
for those that are watching, so the Glory Bowl is something we do with all of the programs, but there's a separate one for juniors and jump starts, which this year is actually pretty exciting. We're going to do a big chapel with just junior and jumpstart. So they're going to have their own big chapel on Friday night. And then the rest of the programs, junior high through senior high, including Fresh Start, is going to have a big chapel in the Bolt House Chapel, which is the bigger chapel. And so at the end of both of those, we have the Glory Bowl, and that's an opportunity to come forward and kind of just kind of stand up and say, this is a decision I made this week, and this is something that I want to bring home, take home for life change for the future. And so it's just an opportunity for campers to kind of step out and make that step of faith as they move forward with their Christian walk. All right, so we're getting down to the bottom of the list here. Getting to do a zip line that is over the lake. So what is the zip line?
The zip line is you get to go and you get strapped in and everything, and you go and walk up this humongous hill that's like super steep.
Yeah.
And there's this platform that's like on the edge of like a big cliff kind of thing. And
so you're like really high in the air.
yes.
Yeah.
You strap onto a zip line. And then you go
With like counselors' help, right?
Yes.
Like they strap you in, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You go on the zip line, and when you go on the zip line, you go over the lake and everything, and then it gets lower and lower, and it gets higher and then it gets lower.
Okay.
So like you go like super high over the lake, and everyone's like nervous, like what if we fall off and land in the lake?
Yeah.
And they're just like, it's not gonna happen.
Right.
Like it's just something fun, and you're strapped in pretty hard.
Okay, so
it's really, really fun.
was it scary to go up there?
It was so scary.
It was so scary.
I was thinking about not going on it because you don't have to go on any.
Right.
You don't have to go on the things if you don't want to.
Yeah.
I was thinking about not going on it.
So what made you change your mind?
Praying with the counselors.
Praying with the
actually.
counselors. Okay.
Yeah.
So the counselors are there with you.
Yeah.
And you can kind of talk through it a little bit. And do you remember anything the counselor said while you were kind of deciding whether to go or not?
Pretty sure they said like God is always with you, and like no matter if you're scared or if you're super excited, he's always there with you, and like there's no need to be scared because like he's there, and no matter what happens to you, he's always there for you.
Sure.
So that made me change my mind, and I was like, oh yeah.
And are you glad you went?
Yeah,
You're glad you went?
really
Okay,
fun.
good. All right, yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad I went.
All right. So, is there anything else that a new camper coming to camp for the first time as a junior camper, anything else you want them to know?
I want them to know that there might be scary times, but they're like super safe where they are. Like it's a really safe place, and I just want them to know that they'll have a lot of fun, no matter if they're scared and they don't think they're gonna have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I thought I wasn't gonna make any friends. I made tons of friends.
Yeah, that's
so
good.
it's just really fun.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you, Kenzie. I appreciate it. Thank you for watching today. Hopefully you got a little inside peek into the junior camp. And if you have a camper that's coming for junior camp, hopefully they can watch this and kind of put them at ease a little bit as they come in. It can be scary, but that's okay. I would say that'd be expected to be scary. You're coming into a new situation, a new circumstance. But with all of that said, it's very quickly kind of gone away because the counselors come in and help you out and talk you through stuff and make things.
It doesn't last long.
It doesn't last long. Yeah. So hopefully you've enjoyed this inside glimpse of junior camp. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.